evening and welcome to this edition of Newsleader on 6. I'm Jim Fuller.
And I'm Amelia Marquez. In tonight's news, Coffee County Sheriff Steve Graves responds to questions about security in the county's courtrooms. Fran is the winner of the Lifetime Achievement Award from the Tullahoma Chamber's Women Impacting Our Community program. And Tullahoma Mayor Curley talks about some of his future plans for the city. We'll have these stories and more on tonight's Newsleader on 6.
Keith Barnett here at Russell Barnett Ford at Tullahoma and Winchester. Check out the 2018 Motor Trend Truck of the Year, the F-150. $9,000 off for the super bad 2018 Ford Mustang, 460 horsepower. And my question is, why buy anywhere else?
Kay and Greg Gillum have added another touch of excellence to their furniture business. Now a newly stocked 20,000 square foot Badcock Home Furniture and More location in Tullahoma, Tennessee. Locally owned and operated and offering the same friendly professional service with the best prices on name brand products like their sister store in Winchester, Tennessee has for years. Visit the new Tullahoma location and shop name brand bedroom suites, electronic department with computers, tablets, 4K televisions, and accessories. A large complete appliance center to fit the style of any household. Beautiful selection of rugs that complement any person's taste. A variety of living room combinations all in one large showroom. That's right, Badcock Home Furniture and More has added a new location. 373 West Lincoln Street, Tullahoma, Tennessee. Offering special prices year-round. Financing is always available. Speedy delivery to your home or office. Open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m., Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., and Sunday, noon to 5 p.m. Call 931-222-4353.
Welcome back. Coffee County District Attorney Craig Northcutt appeared before the Coffee County Commission Tuesday night to voice his concerns about security in the county's courtrooms. His remarks seemed to cast the blame for these issues on Coffee County Sheriff Steve Graves. We spoke earlier today with Sheriff Graves as he responded to General Northcutt's allegations. You're aware of some of the things, I'm sure, as you were at that meeting, that the District Attorney General said about your department, and I just wonder if you'd like to respond to some of those things that were said that night.
I definitely would, Jim. I just want to reassure everyone that our officers are very well trained, in my opinion. We have 8 court officers. 4 of these court officers has been through the 12-week basic police school, plus they've continued their training every year with 40-hour in-service courses and their firearms training. Mm-hmm. We have 4 other officers that has completed a basic school through the police academy for courtroom security. And they also go through their refresher courses every year and their firearms training. I was sort of shocked the other night, with all the things that was said, but I just want people to be assured that training is a #1 priority for us, and we've got the training officers in place, and we're trying to schedule now with the clerks and the judges a downtime that we can have our 16-hour courtroom security class and it not affect the court system as bad.
Is the 16-hour class, is that something in addition to the regular training that any deputy or any law enforcement officer would go through?
It is, and our certified officers has the 40 hours a year plus the 16. Mm-hmm. So they're trained a little harder because we definitely want to keep their certifications going and continue their education.
And are there physical requirements that you have to be physically in some sort of shape to be able to do this kind of thing?
Before anyone comes to work at the sheriff's office, they have to undergo a physical exam, a psychological exam, and every year, if they're not able to qualify with our firearms instructors will not just pass them.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned firearm training, and that's something I would assume everyone, including you, goes through. Is that correct?
We have to do that every year, and it consists of classroom settings, weapons retention, and plus going to the range like you would anyone with a concealed carry permit.
How is this training paid for? Is it paid for out of your budget, or how does that work?
We reached an agreement with the Budget and Finance and some of the commissioners several years ago that, if they would try to help and get our deputy salaries up, that we would start paying for training and other things out of the drug fund. Mm-hmm. And you know, every year we probably go through probably $50,000 to $60,000 for training out of the drug fund, except for the years that we have a large turnover on patrol deputies.
Mm-hmm.
Those 12-week classes are a little over $7,000
For each one?
For each one.
Okay. And I think I heard you mention that your share of that drug fund, or what you got out of that drug fund, was somewhere over around $120,000.
This, you know, it's no secret that a majority of our drug fund comes from Bonnaroo citations
Mm-hmm.
that we write every year. Last year we received $122,000 out of the fund, and the DA's office got $155,000.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And do you have any idea what the DA uses their funds for?
I'm not sure. It's probably training or something like that, I would assume.
The building itself, where all the courtrooms are located, is that somewhat challenging to you guys, because that used to be a school?
It is very challenging. You know, I've said it over and over. You know, our challenge is that we are not really securing a courthouse. We're securing an older school that has so many more entrances and exits. And, you know, we've received some grants and some funding through different means, and we've ensured the doors are getting took care of by new card swipe systems.
Mm-hmm.
We've added cameras, and you know, we make sure that we follow all the minimum requirements that's set forth by the judicial conference every year.
Were you surprised when this came up at this time at the commissioners meeting?
I was very surprised. You know, I would hope that we could all sit down with the judges, the DA, the public defender's office, and, you know, if there's a concern, let us all sit down and work it out.
Do you think, I know that, and you just confirmed that it was a surprise, how does that affect your relationship with the district attorney's office going forward?
Well, I've always been pretty easygoing, so I don't hold grudges, Jim. I never have, and I never will.
Okay. Steve, thank you so much for coming by and talking with us today. Folks, if you'd like to see that meeting in its entirety, you can watch it right here on Charter 193. It comes on at 1 o'clock on Wednesdays and Fridays, 1 o'clock on Wednesdays and Fridays. Also, if you'd like to see the comments from the district attorney, they are on thunder1320.com, as well as a response from Sheriff Graves.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Stay with us. More Newsleader is coming up after these messages.
It's not invoice. It's not MSRP. It's not Christmas Day, although it may feel like it. It's the lowest prices in Middle Tennessee, period. Get to Stan McNabb Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram or Stan McNabb Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac before these prices are gone forever.
All right, the cat's out of the bag at Carroll Street Liquor in Tullahoma. Now you know where to go if you're planning a get-together and want the ideal wine or spirit. Party planning can be stressful, but at Carroll Street Liquor you'll find everything you need. Mixers, gift sets, and all of your favorite spirit brands. So if you're feeling the pressure to pull off the ideal party, come to Carroll Street Liquor and select among the seemingly endless supply of wines, spirits, gift sets, and more. Your perfect party, it's in the bag with Carroll Street Liquors.
Welcome back. The winners of this year's Chamber of Commerce Women's Impacting Our Community were announced at a luncheon at Lakewood Country Club on Tuesday. Let's watch as Fran Gray is presented with the Lifetime Achievement Award.
This is the Women Impacting the Community luncheon that's held by the Chamber of Commerce, and we are so proud of all the ladies who have worked diligently to make the community that we live in, Tullahoma, what it is.
So those of you that think I can't keep a secret, I kept this one for several hours. Frances Couch Gray is a Tullahoma treasure. As the eldest daughter of Bob and Dot Couch, she has continued the Couch legacy of giving back to our community her entire lifetime. Fran was born here on May 27th, in Tullahoma in 1955 and graduated from Tullahoma High School in 1973. She attended Atlantic Christian College in Wilson, North Carolina, and returned home to Tullahoma to begin an auspicious career of working, helping, and contributing to the community of Tullahoma in many different ways. Through church, health, arts and entertainment avenues, our community has benefited tremendously from Fran's tireless involvement. Fran became very involved with Hospice of Highland Rim until it was purchased and became Hospice Compasses. She is newly employed at Alzheimer's Tennessee Incorporated. It's a new support system for Tullahoma families struggling with loved ones with a diagnosis of Alzheimer's and dementia. Alzheimer's Tennessee works in conjunction with Morning Point Senior Living and Memory Care Center. It's so wonderful to see her compassion for helping others continue on in this new position. South Jackson Civic Center is a Tullahoma institution that benefits greatly from Fran's involvement. For the past 8 years, she served as faculty coordinator there, overseeing the day-to-day operations of the Civic Center, advertising, fundraising, and everything else that happens in that building. Chief cook and bottle washer is what you could call Fran there. She is key holder to the entire building and knows every inch of it by heart and all that happens there. She's also served our community as chairman of the board of the Keep Coffee Beautiful initiative, is currently a member of the Sunrise Rotary Club, and I don't know how many years. I couldn't call anybody and ask them if they know you would. And she's a Paul Harris Fellow with Rotary as well. She's a member and an approved reader of the Beatrix Potter Society. She and her husband, John Gray, have been married for, we think, 45 years because he can't remember what year they got married.
No, I said
43, 42, 44. He says he's an old man.
4 this year.
44 this year in September. It'll be 44 years this September. 43 years ago, they began Daddy Billy's Delicatessen. John's currently the Vice President of Charter Channel 6 here in Tullahoma. They have one child, Jacob, who is a tour guide at Jack Daniel's Distillery in Lynchburg. Jacob's married to the former Cindy Jolly of Winchester, who's a music teacher at Cowan Elementary and Swanee Elementary. She's now the choir director at Lynchburg Methodist Church. They own a cottage business, Roosterwear, producing handmade bow ties, and also produce local stage shows. Fran is one of my favorite people in the whole wide world, and I'm so very blessed to be back at home and to be able to consider her a mentor. I'm even more blessed to be able to consider her my friend. She's dedicated her entire life to bettering the lives of everyone in Tullahoma, including me. She's been a part of the church community, the healthcare community, and the arts and entertainment community through her work at South Jackson. All of these are institutions that help other people. So I am so proud of our Fran Couch Gray, and I'm so happy to be the one to present to you the Lifetime Achievement Award due to your community service here in Tullahoma.
We love Tullahoma. I was actually born in Manchester, so I say I'm from Coffee County. A lot of the efforts I've made in my life is to make this a better place to be. It's been about quality of life because I have certainly been blessed over and over in my life. Wonderful family, wonderful church family, wonderful educators, wonderful friends. I've chosen to live here, and except for that 1 year at Atlantic Christian College in North Carolina, and for the 5 months when Jacob was at Vanderbilt, I've lived here. And I love welcoming people to our community. I'm so proud to be part of it. I'm honored to connect people together with time and talent and resources. I'm challenged by my new position with Alzheimer's Tennessee. I'm here to serve you as I have been served. Thank you so much.
And up front are Hope and all of the winners. Right there with my beautiful Fran right in the middle. God bless her for all the hard work and dedication she's not only given to this community, but to me as well. What a rock she's been in my life. And this is a beautiful group of people, women impacting the community, the 4th annual luncheon.
The Chamber also presented awards for public service, business, and education. We'll bring you a video of those awards on Tuesday's newsletter. More news is coming up in a moment.
Hi, I'm Mark Alyn, candidate for Coffee County Mayor. I am a husband, father, and public servant, and not a politician. I have been a government auditor, finance director, and small business owner for over 35 years, and I know numbers. I've seen the numbers for Coffee County, and I see a mess without vision or direction for the future. We have a high debt of $84 million with infrastructure wearing out before it's paid for. County employees not being paid a livable wage, and one of the highest property taxes in the state. What are we getting for our money? It's mismanagement at best. We need real change. The status quo is unacceptable. Vote Mark Alyn on May 1st in the Coffee County Republican primary, and let's hold Coffee County accountable again. To the citizens of Tullahoma, Coffee County is your county. Get out and vote. No matter who you vote for, show the politicians it's your county too.
When your family suffers the loss of a loved one, the caring and compassionate staff at Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel are standing by to assist you in every way possible. We are proud to support local industry and offer only Batesville caskets. Many funeral homes don't own or operate a crematory. We utilize the only crematory in Coffee County. Your loved one never leaves Coffee County. We can accommodate any need and any budget. Consider our complete pre-need service to remove this burden from your family during their time of grief. Lock in today's low costs and protect from inflation. Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel. Our family caring for your family.
Welcome back. Tonight we'll bring you part 2 of Tom Corrington's interview with Tullahoma Mayor Lane Curley. In this segment, Mayor Curley talks about some of his future plans for the city.
I am excited about the future. We talked about economic development a few minutes ago and a lot of new things going on, both from a commercial, but from an economic development standpoint, we really focus on 4 things in Tullahoma. One is retail, and we're by far the retail hub for our southern middle Tennessee area. And there'll be some really, I think, exciting announcements over the next year or two of more retail coming to Tullahoma. Stores that some people have been wanting, for a long time. It's hardly a month goes by that some national or regional retailer comes to Tullahoma and looks around, and so we're pleased to welcome them and encourage them. We're also, the second area we focus on is aviation. We have a strong aeronautical aviation heritage in Tullahoma. Our airport was recognized as the Airport of the Year in Tennessee. And I think there'll be a couple of exciting announcements in the next couple of months of some expansion possibilities at the airport as well. And certainly from the third area that we focus on is technical. Ascend Federal Credit Union is building a call center here in Tullahoma, and there's other things.
Who's building?
Ascend.
Ascend, yes, right.
With our fiber to the premise, in my view, and I've said this to your viewers before, that we just don't do as good a job as we should taking advantage of light tube and the fiber to the premise.
Yeah.
But the more we dig into it, it's hard to get companies to move to a town in southern middle Tennessee. But I talk to folks all the time that have moved to Tullahoma simply because of light tube. There are hundreds of home-based businesses in Tullahoma, many of which take advantage of light tube. And then the fourth area we focus on is medical. We've got over 200 physicians attached to Nova Healthcare Harton, and that's incredible for a community our size. There are things done at that hospital that no other hospital I'm aware in the region do. So we want to continue to grow our medical base. So those are the 4 things that we really focus on. Now, I've got, every year I introduce a different community initiative. And I want to design a community that's attractive for young families to either remain here, return here, or relocate here. That's what I'm all about, is trying to design a community that's attractive for young families. And so each year I introduce a different community initiative that will move us in that direction. The Arts Council several years ago, the Get Fit Tullahoma, the Go Green Tullahoma, and those are designed because young families like to live in artsy, green, fit-oriented communities. And so we're making progress. And then this year, I've got several other community initiatives that I want to introduce as well.
And we'll be right back in a moment with more Newsleader on 6.
We're losing it, Doctor.
Not on my shift. Quickly, brush. Roller.
What a transformation. It's gonna be okay.
Okay, nothing.
At Paintworks of Tullahoma, we specialize in domestic emergencies with Martin Senior Paints. You can be the paint doctor too when you treat your home with Martin Senior interior and exterior finishes.
Doctor, we've got another one.
Got you covered.
Paintworks of Tullahoma. Come see the paint doctor, Stat.
All I have to do to think about what I was physically before and what I am now, and I don't ever want to go back to that original situation.
The overall mission of the rehab team is always what is best for the patient and how we can facilitate maximum potential from every resident.
Well, the most important thing to me is that I'm allowed to do whatever I want to do, you know.
Everyday miracles at Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
Welcome back. Peggy Burton spoke with Lisa Maurer about the Pied Piper event coming up this Sunday at South Jackson Civic Center.
The group is made up of my friends, fellow musicians. They are all professional musicians, have been playing their entire lives, studied music. They play in symphonies. They've played chamber music their entire lives. They've studied with famous quartets. So they just
How
love
lucky
music.
we are that they decided that they didn't mind coming and playing
no,
for us.
they jumped at the chance. We love chamber music. We want to play. We're on board.
I feel like I'm not a great musician, but I got a good eye for talent.
Yes.
And your group is awesome.
Thank you.
I was interested in what sort of things you were going to play during the concert.
Well, we're labeling this concert String Quartet 101 because many people have never heard a string quartet or know what a string quartet consists of. 2 violins, a viola, and a cello. And so we're going to play highlights from the great string quartet composers.
Wonderful.
Haydn, we're going to play a movement from his famous Lark Quartet. Mozart, who was friends with Haydn, we're going to play a movement from his Dissonant Quartet and his famous Eine kleine Nachtmusik.
Everybody loved
then
that.
Beethoven, who was friends with Mozart and Haydn and studied with Haydn, a scherzo. Now, Beethoven was kind of a rebel and very ahead of his time. Well, the
political,
third,
actually,
political, yes.
very political.
So the third movement of a string quartet is usually a minuet and trio. Well, Beethoven's like, I'm changing that. So he changed the minuet and trio to a scherzo. Scherzo meaning joke.
Which is usually upbeat and fun.
Right, fun, you can dance to it. Well, you can't really dance to it. But so we're going to do a scherzo, one of his scherzos, which is a really sweet piece. Not at all heavy and deep like his Symphony No. 5 in C minor, a lot of his. But it is in C major. So some Beethoven and then some light music that you've probably heard on the radio. Highlights from The Sound of Music, Unchained Melody, Palladio. So we're just going to have fun.
I love it. And I love that you said you would do it. On the 15th at 2:30, tickets will be available at the door. You can call and get a reservation if you like, but it's 2:30 in the afternoon. I would say come about 2:15 or so, whatever. Make sure you get in on time because we will start on time, right?
That's right. That's right.
Ticket price is
$10.
$10, which is really not enough for such an event, but it's about an hour. Is that correct?
Yes, no more than an hour.
No more than an hour.
A little. We'll have a little talking in between to tell you what to listen for, what you're going to hear.
I like that because I think that people do need to be educated. So many people are not listening to classical music now, and there's such wonderful music out there. It's peaceful. Sometimes it's not so peaceful.
Right? Yeah. Why did they write it? Who did they write it for? What inspired them? You know, the German poet Heinrich Goethe said that a string quartet is a rational conversation between 4 people.
I like that.
So when you go to an orchestra concert, you see a conductor up there. You will not see a conductor because there's one on a part. That's what's so great about chamber music. One on a part, so if you crash and burn, it's your fault.
It's your fault.
And you don't have a conductor,
blame.
so you're conversing with the members of the group, you know, with signals. You're not saying a word, but you're having a conversation. You're going back and forth with the music. You know, and when you practice with different people, you have an idea of what you think it should be, and then they go, well, let's try this.
Let's try this.
And
So
it
ever
opens
you
your
get
mind
to
a whole new way.
share
and
your
you're like, wow,
ideas.
that's great, yeah.
And
so
for those of
we
you
make it ours.
For those of you that don't know Lisa, she plays piano, she plays violin, viola, cello, what else?
The radio? No, the radio. No.
And you're teaching music out at Montlaw.
Yes.
How lucky they are to have you.
Oh, thank you.
I felt so blessed when they put you in the program out there.
Oh, thank
Because you're
you.
working with David Bethea, and there's a lot of fine things happening at Montlaw. I just wanted to give them a little plug. There's our phone number, our website. I'm not sure somebody's working the office every day of the week now because we're looking for a new office manager. So make sure you show up in time to get a ticket and get in on Sunday afternoon, the 15th.
The pet of the week this week at the Tullahoma Animal Shelter is a Chihuahua mix named Little Bit, who entered the shelter as a stray. He's approximately 3 years old and has had some of his vaccinations. Be sure to check out the shelter on Facebook for information about upcoming events and fundraisers. Remember, you can help support your local shelter by adopting, donating, or volunteering. For more details, contact Teresa at 454-9580. The Tullahoma Animal Shelter is located at 942 Maplewood Avenue.
The Coffee County Humane Society featured pet this week is Billy and Molly. They are Cure Mountain Hounds needing separate homes in the country. The shelter also has many other dogs available for adoption at 1210 Oakdale Street in Manchester. Hours of operation at the shelter are 7:30 a.m. until 2:30 p.m. Monday through Friday and 8 a.m. until 1 p.m. on Saturday. The shelter's phone number is 723-2730. Donations for animal care can be made to the Coffee County Humane Society at P.O. Box 252 in Manchester. Their website is www.coffeehumane.org.
Stay with us. Your weather forecast is coming up next.
Russell's got your truck, man. Russell's got your truck.
Big, bigger, and even bigger. Russell Barnett has any size truck for any size need. Chevrolet, Ford, GMC, Ram. Check us out on the web at russellbarnett.com. Our selection is so huge, we may need our own zip code. So my question is, why buy your next truck anywhere else?
With the best selection anywhere, Russell's got your truck, man.
The day the Lord created hope could be the same day He created spring.
Springtime's here. It's a good time to get our air conditioners checked out before those hot summer days get here. We've been here for a little over 35 years. It's been our pleasure to serve our community. We'd like to thank you for Tellahoma's finest, and from all of us to all of you.
Thank you!
Cool off at Southern Middle Tennessee's newest water park, Tellahomas Splash Island. Fun for all ages. 3 25-foot water slides, lazy river, fun water features for toddlers, tasty food items available. All this and more, only $5 from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. or 4 to 9 p.m. Sundays 1 to 6. Join the fun at Tellahomas Splash Island.
Welcome back. We'll take a look at your weather forecast at this time, starting with your weather history on this day. Our record high was in 1930 at 85 degrees. The record low was in 1940 at 28 degrees. The average high on this day is 69 and the average low is 46. Partly cloudy weather in the forecast for tonight with a low of around 57. Partly cloudy weather continues in the forecast for Friday with a high of 80 and a low of 62, and rain back in the forecast as always for the weekend starting on Saturday with a high expected of 73 and a low of 48. And that's our Newsleader report for this evening. We invite you to join us each Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 6, 8, and 10 for Newsleader on 6. You have a good evening.
And from all of us on Newsleader 6 wishes you and your families a fantastic weekend. Thank you.